Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here or if you haven't seen my previous video, I just want to make a disclaimer that this video is going to be a continuation of my previous video. So basically what that means is the first part of this video is going to be a recap of what I talked about in the previous video to catch you all up to the story time that this video is going to be about. So without further ado, let's get into it.
And I wanted to tell y'all about my Disney experience. I signed a contract to work with Disney Cruise Line on the Disney Wonder. It was my first ever time working for Disney, and it was my first ever time working on a cruise ship. I was on the Disney Wonder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
First time working on a cruise ship, first time working for Disney. Working on a cruise ship is fun, but it's also not for the weak. Actually, is it really fun? No! The traveling aspect of working on a cruise ship is fun. First, initially, like being out in the middle of the ocean, you're surrounded by water, it's blue skies and sunshine and blue waters, and it's nice, it's a different experience. But, and big but, big but, when you start to feel like the motion of the ocean and all the waves and stuff, that seasickness, being your first time working on a cruise ship, you can feel every single shift, every single rock, every single wave, every single everything. Like, I figured out that I definitely get seasick. Having to dance and sing and act while you're like experiencing like headaches, it's not cute. And then when it's rough seas,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
those waves get huge. We felt like we were on a roller coaster, the way this boat would like drop, and like the entire boat like literally dropped, and you felt it, like your feet damn near left the ground. It's not for the weak. Not everyone has a an iron stomach. A lot of people have weak stomachs, especially the guests. It's a bunch of people throwing up all over the floor, and sometimes the weather is so bad that like the outside deck is like closed. You can't go outside because it's like flooded with rain. All the furniture is like blowing around in the wind. Also, working with Disney, I was an assembly leader for the guest drills. They made me assembly leader on my first contract. I didn't know what I was doing. Basically what that meant was I had to go and get the little safety tablet and the safety clipboard and the walkie-talkie. I had to assist that person with checking in each and every single guest that comes to our assembly station. Also, you have to be the person that leads all the guests out to the lifeboat in case there's an abandoned ship. It was too much. It was too much. It was too much for my first ever contract. It was too much. The crew mess. Let's talk about that crew mess, because I definitely did not like that either. If you don't know what the crew mess is, the crew mess on ships is basically the crew eating area. That is the designated area for the crew to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So number one, what I didn't like was the food, of course. And it's no shade to the cooks, because I know the cooks are back there slaving away all damn day cooking meals for 1,000 crew members. But at the same time, y'all can add some adobo, some garlic salt. Y'all could add some seasoning to that damn food. My next thing I didn't like about the crew mess is the fact that it was always so messy. Like it's one thing for the crew mess to already be at the bottom of the ship, where it's already like a dungeon, it's dark and scary, it looks like a warehouse. But then for it to like just be dirty and dingy and nasty, and the floor was always wet, people slipping and sliding. Oh my god, like it was just so messy and nasty in there. Like, girl, like the food was nasty, the area was nasty. I did not like eating at the crew mess. Now let's get into the cabin. When we first boarded the boat during our crossover period, they put a lot of us in staterooms. A stateroom is pretty much a guest not a guest cabin, a guest room where a regular guest would sleep at, like a hotel room, but on a boat. The stateroom was decent on the Disney Wonder. The Disney Wonder is also one of their older ships. I think it's their second oldest. The boat was old, the stateroom was old, but it was at least clean
And updated.
But after our crossover period ended, we got put in our cabins, and baby, those cabins were old, dusty, decrepit, and scary. It's bad enough that the crew cabins are small, but to be outdated, like, and it's Disney. Like, let me start off there. This is Disney. Disney is a $1 billion corporation, right? $1 billion or million? They should be in the billions by how much shit that they own. I didn't even know they own a bunch of sports network, a bunch of different movie companies. Do they own Hulu now? So you would think Disney would put a little bit of money into updating the crew cabins, updating the crew mess, having some somewhat decent food for the crew members in the crew mess. Like the same way they can update and renovate the staterooms for the guests, you would think they would do that for the crew. No, baby. First of all, day one, I get into my cabin, and that's another thing because I had a roommate. We'll get into that. Our bathroom light flickered every single time you went to turn it on. Our bathroom door was missing a lock. We had a broken bathroom lock for like a good 2 months. And then the beds, that bunk bed, oh my God, that bunk bed was like a child's bunk bed.
Bro, look at the size of this damn bunk. This is what I mean when I say them bunk beds were small as fuck. Oh my God, look at how close my head is to the ceiling already. And then you know them bunk beds had to be small. Look at how low the ceilings are.
And I had a roommate. So let's get into that. Imagine me, because I'm already over 6 foot. I'm 6'1", 6'2", something like that. Being roomed up with another person that is also over 6 foot. Imagine 2 6 foot tall ass bitches being in one small itty bitty cabin with a little itty bitty bunk bed. Baby, I could not fit in the bunk bed. I was literally hunched over like this trying to sit down. I could not sit down. The only way I could be in the bunk bed is by laying down. I just didn't like the crew cabins. The crew cabins were dusty, dirty, dingy, outdated, and not likable. Especially not being a 6 foot giant sharing a room with another 6 foot giant, and you got all your shit in that little tiny ass room. I did not like that, not one bit. I also didn't like how many rules, and like Disney has some rules that are like stupid. You can't record like yourself rehearsing. You can't record yourself in the dressing room. You can't record yourself backstage. You can't record yourself in the crew mess. You can't even record yourself in the crew mess. You can't record yourself in the I-95. You can't any crew area you're not allowed to record it, other than like maybe your cabin. I wanted to record myself rehearsing so I can like vlog. I wanted to record my shows. You couldn't even record the shows. We had to have our friends sneak in and record the shows, which is why the footage that I have of my performance footage is like not good quality, is because my friends had to sit there with the phone snuck in like this, hold it under their arm and stuff. Like Disney just has the way that they operate. They have this image that they try and uphold, where it's like this magical image, and they don't want people to know how things work and how things operate. If you've ever been like on a Disney cruise or to a Disney park and you've like asked like really specific questions about like the Disney characters, and like the crew members give you some bullshit answer, it's because they're literally like trained to give you a bullshit answer. Like you're supposed to do that with Disney. Like they want to keep the magic. But yeah, they just have rules and regulations that are just so and it's because it's Disney. Like Disney is just Disney. But anyways, that was pretty much my experience working for Disney and working on the Disney Wonder and working for my first ever cruise job. I may consider doing another cruise ship contract, but it definitely won't be Disney. I'll be considering a different company, partly because I don't like Disney, and another reason is I got fired from Disney. Y'all, I done got fired from Disney. Well, technically not fired, but they terminated my contract early, and I only had like a month left of my contract. Why did they fire me? Because of this video.
What's this? Because, and I know what you guys are gonna say, it's a chicken tender. No, it's not. Cut the cameras. Y'all, I swear on my mother, that really just pissed me the fuck off. I can't stand this fuck ass boat, because why would they not give a warning before they fucking honk that fucking horn? Like, what the fuck? That shit is loud as fuck. They gonna blast my fucking eardrums the fuck open and I'm gonna go deaf. Like, are you okay? Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely the fuck interrupted, this is not chicken. This is not. Did you see how that ripped apart? Look, chicken doesn't look.
What is that? That's not chicken. And it don't smell like chicken. And it don't taste like chicken. And it don't look like chicken. And it's not chicken. So what is it? If it's not chicken, then what the... Y'all, that shit is straight up coyote meat and cow testicles. Like, don't let them fool you into thinking that shit is actual chicken. It's not chicken. So, bitch, let me tell you, I originally recorded that video and only posted it on my Instagram story, but I decided like a day or two after posting it to my story that I was gonna post it to my TikTok, because at the time I only had like 20K followers on TikTok, and I was like heavily shadow banned. Like, the most views I would get at the time were like maybe 800 to maybe 1,000. Like, if I was like on the For You page, I would only get maybe like 1,000 views on my videos. So no way was I expecting that video to go viral. But of course, that video went viral. And girl, it was a problem. I posted it at night, and the next day is when I realized that like my video was at 100K views and it was still like growing. So I told my castmates and they were like, oh my gosh, your video's going viral, blah, 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 blah. A few people had seen it on their For You page. Like, my video was dead going viral. Like, people that worked on completely different Disney boats were seeing my video. As the rest of the day went on, my castmates, like, it started spreading like wildfire through not my castmates, but like the character cast. There's two different casts. There's the main stage cast that does like the shows, and then there's the character cast that's like the characters.
Okay, so let me go on ahead and clear this up. So when I posted the video at night, I woke up that next morning and I had an early morning shift. When I had this early morning shift, I had to go to the character dressing room. When I went in the character dressing room to get ready for my shift, there was like 3 or 4 people in the character dressing room. So I shared it with those 3 or 4 people. So by noon, by like lunch, within a few hours, the news has spread all throughout the character cast. The character cast had to be like 15, 20 people. Like, they were gossiping.
It started spreading like wildfire through the character cast, and a few of the character cast members had an issue with my video. So rumors started going around and a bunch of shit.
Okay, so the rumors that I'm talking about is basically this one bitch, and I'll give you some tea later about this little bitch, but this bitch was basically saying like, oh, he's doing all this in a guest area, he could get our privileges taken away, we can all get in trouble, and blah, 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 blah. Baby, it's not that deep. It's literally just a little TikTok video about some damn chicken tenders.
So I privated the video and put it on friends only.
And the only reason I privated the video was because everyone was making such a big deal about it. Like, why the fuck are you dragging it out so much? Okay, continue with the video.
But then after I did that, I was scrolling on TikTok and I had seen so many different people had already saved the video and reposted it. And their videos had like 1 million views and 1 million likes. And I'm like, bitch, that could be my video. Why are all these other... Because at the same time, they were reposting my video, but they had took that little TikTok watermark that had my name, they took it off.
And they didn't tag me in the description.
So I'm like, oh, fuck no. So I posted that bitch right back up because I was a part of the creator fund. If you private a video, it disqualifies you from the creator fund. So I put that bitch right the fuck back up. My video eventually got like 500,000, 1 million views, 2 million, 3 million. But when I reposted it, I guess a few people had an issue with that. But the gag is none of them came up to me and said anything about it. They just kept talking shit. But it kept getting back to me because, of course, I have friends in the character cast and they would report the gossip back to me.
And to be completely honest, this was like one of the only issues that I had with this whole situation was the fact that instead of like coming up to me as an adult, because, you know, we're all in our 20s and we're working on this boat and it's a damn job, instead of coming up to me as an adult and being like, hey, I have some concerns about the video, can you please maybe private it or whatever, you guys would rather keep talking shit behind my back and gossiping and starting group chats talking shit about me. Yeah, I know about your little group chats too. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you can't just come up to me and speak your piece. What am I gonna do? Fight you and get sent to jail? No.
I just paid it dust because, again, I only had like a month left of the contract, and then I didn't have to see them again. So, bitch, I didn't give a fuck.
I didn't give a fuck because the video, again, was about chicken tenders and that horn being put off without warning. What are we gossiping about? Why are we dragging it out? Like, why are you guys so pressed about a chicken tender video? And that was the running joke between me and a few of my friends. Like, why are these bitches so pressed about a chicken tender video?
So the next day, I was out having fun on my port day. You know, I got off the boat. I went to go eat and explore and have fun and not be on that damn boat because I was pissed off on that boat. Again, working on a boat is exhausting. It comes to our all aboard time, and I get back on the boat.
All right, guys, I'm just going to hop in real quick and try to better explain the schedule for the day so you guys can understand how things happened and the story can try and make a little bit more sense. The way I explained it in the video was just not making sense, so I'm here to clear it up. Anyways, I have the schedule right here. I'm going to try and put a screenshot of it up here somewhere so you guys can follow along. So as you can see, there's a lot of colors, but for this day, we're going to focus on the orange one. So as you can see at the top of the orange schedule, it says company meeting at 1500. 1500 is 3 p.m. They use military time. Do not ask me why. Anyway, so company meeting at 3. Then we had the guest safety drill at 3:40. And then after guest safety drill was sail a wave at 4:30 on deck 9. And then after sail a wave, we had to get ready for our show. So web call and pre-show call is getting ready for the show. And half-hour call is getting ready for the show as well. And then pre-show is pre-show. And then Golden Mickey's is the show. So that's pretty much the way things went on this day.
No, we had a crew meeting. That's what it was. Yeah, okay. So we had a crew meeting. So after our crew meeting, my stage manager pulled me to the side and she was like, after Sail a Wave, I had to go to HR. So in my head, I was like, oh, am I gonna get in trouble because I was late to All Aboard? Because I think a week before, I was like 45 minutes late to All Aboard. And being late to All Aboard is, you can get written up or fired for being late to All Aboard. So I'm like, oh my gosh, am I finally gonna get like my write-up or whatever? So I did Sail a Wave and then I went to HR. I'm expecting them to be like, yeah, so on this date you were late to All Aboard and blah, blah, blah. No. So the HR dude starts off with, we called you in here to do a wellness check.
Huh?
I said a wellness check. So in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe they do this with like all the crew members at some point during the contract to make sure you're not like suicidal because working on the cruise ship is like depressing. But then he tells me we do wellness checks when other crew members express concern about certain things with their castmates or their crewmates. So one of my castmates or another crew member made a report on me and now they're doing a wellness check. What is this about? I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like, this can't be about the video because, you know, it's a damn video
About chicken tenders. Y'all, a video about chicken tenders.
The HR dude didn't say anything about the video. He didn't mention the video at all. He was just like, this is a wellness check and we do this because when other castmates express concerns with their crew members. So I'm like, did I like make a joke? Because I tend to make self-deprecating jokes quite often. So maybe one of my cast members took that the wrong way. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, what's this about? So he keeps giving me the HR spiel. You know, HR asks those dumbass questions like, are you happy? How do you feel about the job? How do you feel about your duties? All that HR stuff. But then he says, he asked me something about my Instagram. I think he asked me how many followers or something I had on Instagram, or if I like to post on Instagram. So he keeps going on about like, how many followers do I have? What type of videos do I like to post?
I also just want to say that I was a little bit confused by this point because he was asking me questions about Instagram. in my head, I was like, why are you asking me about Instagram when the video went viral on TikTok? But on my Instagram, I do make little private stories about how I'm pissed off and stuff like that. So again, I was thinking like maybe one of my castmates saw my Instagram story and reported me to HR and they're doing a wellness check because I might have said something wild on my Instagram story. But anyways, I was confused. Let's get back into it.
I usually post my little pictures on Instagram. Sometimes I'll like make videos where I speak my mind. Sometimes I'll post dance videos and this, that, and the third. And he's like, okay, have you posted anything about you being hired with the company and you working with the company? I tell him, yeah, I did make a post like that. Yeah, I did like announce on my Instagram, because I did like this, like I did post on my Instagram that, you know, I was working with Disney Cruise Line. So then he goes on to ask like, are you familiar with our social media policy? So I tell him that, yeah, I'm familiar with the social media policy because, you know, they beat that social media policy over your head during orientation and during training. So like, of course, I'm familiar with the social media policy. In true HR fashion, after I said I'm familiar with it, we go over the social media policy. And as he's reading me the social media policy
is basically like you're not allowed to say negative things about the company. You're not allowed to say certain secrets. You're not allowed to spread conspiracies. You're not, whatever the fuck. I'm not gonna read exactly what was in it because it's too much, but that was the gist of the social media policy.
My video was about the chicken tenders and plugging my ears because that damn horn. It was nothing negative about the company. I don't even think I said Disney in the video. I think the only way people were figuring out that I was on a Disney boat was because of the horn. That loud ass horn. So that's the only reason people like were figuring out that I was on a Disney boat. But I was like, what does this have to do? Like, these are two different platforms. And the people that were viewing the video on TikTok weren't going over to my Instagram and seeing that, hey, this guy works for Disney Cruise Line. Like, no, that wasn't happening. So I'm like, how does this tie together? So he finishes reading the social media policy and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, everything in this social media policy
has nothing to do with my video. Like,
that little video didn't violate any terms within the social media policy. So
what is he trying to get at?
So he then proceeds to go on and talk about like
crew integrity, and as Disney crew, you should want to hold yourself up to higher standards.
Not higher standards.
You should be posting more positive stuff and blah, 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 blah. And we don't encourage cursing and this, that, and the third.
I'm like, in my head, it just hits me like I've heard weird things about Disney going out of their way to like make these weird rules to try and uphold this like image of this family friendly company, and they make these stupid rules and stuff like, but this was just like, oh my god, like I'm in it, like this is happening to me, like it just felt like a cult. Some crew member reported me and now I'm getting the secretive HR sit down chat about me not being family friendly on my own damn social media platform.
Wait a damn minute.
So anyways, the HR dude keeps talking about crew integrity, bitch, and posting positive stuff on social media, and we expect our crew members to have a high integrity and this and that and the third. And I'm like, Disney is weird. Like, that's all I can think about. Disney is in fact weird. Like, it's happening. Like, the weird Disney shit is happening to me. So we finished talking about all of that and he's like, so why did you post it? I'm like, I was just speaking my mind. Like, that's literally what I said. Like, I make videos where I just talk and speak my mind.
And I really just want to emphasize the way he was asking me why I posted. He wasn't just like, so why did you post it? He was like, as a crew member and as someone that works for the company and you're proud to be here, why would you post something like that? What was going through your head? Blah, 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 blah. Like, really just dragging it out like, bitch, relax. It's not that serious, I promise.
I didn't violate any of the social media policy stuff. It had nothing to do with anything in the social media policy. He pulled it up on his phone and showed me my video that was screen recorded.
Y'all, when I tell y'all it felt like I got caught up in some type of cult bullshit because somebody screen recorded my video and sent it to HR to report me. And let me tell you how I know that someone screen recorded it and it wasn't just him. Because when he showed me the screen recording, it had the views, the likes, the comments. The video only had 100K views on his screen recording. So that means it was early on when I had showed everyone in the, not everyone, but the few people that I showed in the character dressing room, and it only had 100K views. Because by the time we were in the HR meeting, the video had like 1 million something views. So I know it was some bitch from Character Cast that reported me to HR and screen recorded my video. And what made it feel even more like some cult bullshit was the fact that literally a week ago, I was late 45 minutes to all aboard, but all of a sudden I can get called in lickety split for this Instagram video that I posted not even a day ago? Because I posted it that night, and then the next day I told the 4 people in character dressing room, and then the day after, so a day and a half, they already called me in for the video. But a week ago, I was 45 minutes late to all aboard, and nothing happened about that.
Weird. Like, he didn't even... Like, he didn't type it in on the computer, TikTok.com, and type in my TikTok handle. No, he pulled out his phone, he went to his files or whatever, and showed me on his phone my video. Like, he literally had my video saved. Like, somebody, like, screen recorded it and sent it to him. I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, it's all just hitting me at once. Like, okay... So somebody reported me, one of my castmates or crew members reported me, and that means they sent him the video. After he shows me the video and we talk about the video and stuff, he's like, so why did you post it? And I'm like, you know, I just make videos speaking my mind, and my video didn't violate the social media policy and this, that, and the third. He then proceeds to talk about like me cursing and stuff, and then he proceeds to scroll to another video of mine off of my TikTok. He had multiple of my videos on his phone, screen recorded of my TikTok. So he shows me a completely different video off of my TikTok. I'm like, so he has multiple of my videos saved on his phone. This is definitely moved from weird to borderline cult. Like, this is weird. Like, I just feel violated. I feel like I'm being spied on. Girl, like, what the fuck? Like, mind you, all this within the matter of, I posted the video like the night before, I told my castmates the next day, and then port day. All that within the matter of, the night before doesn't count. So all that within the matter of 2 days, and I'm not even gonna give it the full day because it was a full 1 day, and then the next port day, I had to go in before the day was up. So like a day and a half, all that within a day and a half, somebody reported me, screen recorded my page, sent it to HR, and reported me. And all this happened just that quick. Somebody that I told from Character Cast definitely reported me, because there's no way. So we finished talking about social media and crew integrity and this and that and third, and he has me fill out a statement where I had to explain why I posted the video, what day I posted the video on, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So I had to fill out a statement, gave it to him, and that was that. So a few days go by, and one of my friends comes up to me and is like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I heard that there was an investigation going on.
Investigation?
Investigation?
And at this point, I knew for certain one of my castmates reported me, because like, I didn't even know about the investigation. Like, how are there already rumors going around in the character cast about an investigation, and I didn't even know about an investigation?
And if y'all remember earlier on in the video, I said that there was this one bitch that was saying things like, oh, this video could affect our privileges and it could affect the whole cast and this, that, and the third. I think that bitch was the one that reported me to HR. And let me tell you why I think this, because when my friend came up to me and told me who she heard were talking in the dressing room, she said she heard a guy's voice and she heard a girl's voice. And the guy knew nothing about the investigation, but the girl was telling him all the tea. She knew everything. So I think it was that bitch. And let me tell you why I also think it was that bitch. Because when it first initially started popping off, she also said that this bitch was the one that was the most upset about the video. Why would the bitch that's the most upset about the video talking about,
oh, it can affect our privileges and this, that, and the third,
not be the bitch that reported me to HR?
Whoever the fuck reported me, bitch, 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 bitch. Because if you had an issue with what I posted, you could have came up to me, you could have texted me on WhatsApp and said,
hey, you might want to take this video down because blah 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 blah.
and whatever the fuck. But no, you decide to go right to HR. And that's the issue I have, because like, we're adults. Why are you going and reporting and spreading rumors and gossiping and all that? We're adults. If you have an issue, you can come up to me as an adult. How about that? Like, what the fuck? Like,
and this is why I said earlier that this was really my only issue that I had with the whole situation. Like, instead of coming up to me as an adult and just hashing it out, you would rather act like a weirdo, screen record multiple videos on my TikTok, send it to HR, and make this whole issue. We could have handled this through text. And that's why I say it felt like a cult, because bitch, at the end of the day, you have to think like you're an employee too. Why would a fellow employee who makes the same amount of money feel the need to be this weird? Like, and it's giving cold. It's giving cold. You love the company that much? You love Disney that much? You want to be a Disney princess that bad?
anyways, because I really don't give a fuck. I won't be returning to Disney anyway.
But it doesn't matter if I plan on returning or not. It's the principle. You as an adult could have came up to me and handled this like an adult. Bitch, you're weird.
I'm like, I don't think there's an investigation, but let me go ask HR. So I go up to HR and I'm like, hey, there's rumors going around in Character Cast about an investigation. I'm not sure where these rumors are coming from and blah, blah, blah. And he proceeds to tell me,
yes, so the whole reason that we had you sign a statement and write a statement and this, that, and the third was that we would be conducting an investigation.
in my head, I'm just like, so why didn't you tell me that that would be the next step? And then why would you tell the person that reported me about the investigation, but not me? That don't make no damn sense. Okay, anyways, so after that, a week goes by, I don't hear anything. So I'm thinking, I don't know how long investigations about a TikTok videos last, but this is a long ass investigation because it was literally like a full 7 days. A week goes by and it's like our last Australia cruise before we head back to the States.
Okay, so let me try and give like a timeline of the last cruise schedule for Australia. So for our last Australia cruise, we had a 5-day round trip from Sydney to Hobart back to Sydney. So day 1, we were in Sydney. Day 2, we would be heading to Hobart. Day 3, we would arrive in Hobart. Day 4, we would head back to Sydney. Day 5, we would arrive in Sydney for the last time and then head back to the States. During this whole cruise, nothing was said about the investigation. But what's about to happen next happens in between that last day of travel and arriving in Sydney.
So I'm asleep, right? Because we're about to port in Sydney for our last time, right? So we're heading to Sydney and I'm asleep in my bed. I am woken up in the middle of the night by my wave phone. If you don't know what a wave phone is this old ass, beat up ass phone, Nokia looking ass, ugly ass phone that they give to you so they can contact you at whatever hour of the day that they need to contact you at. So I'm woken up at 4:50 something in the morning by my wave phone ringing. I'm like, what the fuck? I know that's not my phone. Maybe it's my roommate's. I wake up, I look at my wave phone. It's my wave phone. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I answer it. It's the assistant cruise director. She's all, hi, this is the assistant cruise director. Is this Isaiah?
Yes, this is Isaiah. What's going on?
I'm tired as fuck. So I'm like,
Yes, this is Isaiah. Hello?
Hi Isaiah, I'm sorry to bother you this early in the morning, but I will be at your cabin in about 10 to 15 minutes. I have to take you up to the bridge.
Take me up to the bridge at 4:50 in the morning. I'm like, I know they're not about to give me this investigation report at 5 in the morning. This can't be that. This can't be that. It was. So I tell her, okay, hang up the phone. I get up, rinse my face off with water really quickly. I put on a sweater because I already had sweatpants on and I was not about to change into some like slacks or something like that. No. I put on a sweater, had my PJs on. She came to pick me up, took me to the bridge. If you don't know what the bridge is basically, it's this big observatory thing where the captain of the boat steers the ship. Maybe I have like a picture of what it looks like.
Okay, so if y'all look behind me, that big ass observatory behind me, that's the bridge. That's where I had to go at 5 a.m. in the morning.
And we get to the bridge. So she takes me inside to this little like this round table room. And we walk in the door. It's the captain, it's the cruise director, it's the HR guy, it's the HR assistant, and they have this envelope sitting on the table and they're all just sitting there looking dead in the face, like tired, like they just woke up out of sleep. If y'all are tired and I'm tired, why couldn't this be scheduled at a different time? To make a long story short, they were like,
So we finished our investigation and we did conclude that we will be terminating your contract early. We just wanted to make it known that everything up to this point, you have been great. You've been a wonderful performer. You've been this and that and this and that. And
all the HR stuff, because this was the HR dude talking to me. Y'all are terminating my contract over a TikTok video.
A TikTok video about chicken tenders.
And you're terminating my contract when I only have like a month left, because we only had like 3 cruises left. We had the Crossing the Equator cruise, which was like 14 days, and then the 10-day cruise from Hawaii to Vancouver, and then a 4-day cruise from Vancouver to San Diego. They really just decided to terminate my contract as I only had like 3 cruises left. Whatever, it's Disney. He tells me all that stuff, and then he's like,
so we also decided that this would be your last day and you would be debarking today.
so, okay, so he says that today is my last day and I will be debarking today. And he pulls out this envelope and he's like,
So inside this envelope is a checklist of your debarkation checklist. This will tell you how you're gonna get your final paycheck and everything that you need to complete before you can leave the ship. You will be debarking this morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you have to complete everything on this debarkation checklist before you debark.
I'm like, today, this morning? He's like,
Yes, unfortunately today,
bitch. So let me tell you why that was an issue with me. This checklist is a pretty lengthy checklist. This includes checking my bags and luggage at the security check-in, return my uniforms to costuming all the way at the bottom of the boat. Like I told you, the crew mess was at the bottom of the boat. No, costuming is even bottomer at the bottom of the boat. Did I already say get my last paycheck? Inspect my cabin with my stage manager. So that means I would have had to go and call my stage manager and have my stage manager wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to check my cabin to make sure it was clean enough for me to be able to leave, clean the cabin, make sure your account for the internet, that shitty ass internet, and that's another thing I hated, you have to pay for the internet. You have to go down to the crew office to make sure your account for the internet is paid out. Just a lengthy checklist of things that you have to do. On top of having to pack your bags and all your stuff, all your clothes, everything in under 3 hours. I told you they woke me up at like 4:50 something, and then we didn't start the whole thing until like 5:10 in the morning. And by the time he was telling me about the checklist, it was already like 5:50 something. It was about to be 6 o'clock. Are they really about to let me go in the dirtiest way possible and give me 3 hours to pack, complete this stupid ass checklist, go and get my final paycheck, check my luggage at security, and debark within 3 hours? Are they seriously doing me this dirty and making me debark within 3 hours. They couldn't have told me the day before. Literally the day before would have been helpful. I would have at least had the day prior to like pack my shit.
I know I don't have to do this, but just to prove that they could have let me know earlier, I'm going to show you the date of signature for each department. Let me cover up their names so I don't expose anyone. See where it says approved by, and it has all the different department names, the department head, the steering committee, HR management, staff captain. These are the dates when they signed the paper. So see how 3 of the departments signed February 13th and only 2 of them signed February 15th? February 15th is the day that they had me up at 5 a.m. in the morning letting me know that I was getting fired. So that means they literally could have let me know 2 days in advance when the 3 departments signed on the 13th.
These bitches gave me 3 hours to pack my shit. I had 2 roller luggages full of shit to pack on top of knickknacks and souvenirs that I bought throughout my time of being on the cruise ship. All that shit to pack within the matter of 3 hours.
I did not have 3 hours to pack. It was realistically like 2.5 hours. And 1 of those hours was packing. The other hour and a half was completing that checklist. Because I had to be down in the debark holding area by like 8:30 so we could start the debarkation process at 9. And then let's not even talk about how weird it is to be packing your bags at 6 a.m. while your roommate is trying to sleep. Luckily, he woke up while I was in the middle of packing and went to go get coffee, because imagine trying to bring your stage manager into your cabin to inspect it at 6 a.m. while your roommate's asleep.
And what blew me was when he pulled out another envelope and he was like,
This is your flight details. We got all this figured out.
so you guys booked my flight, bitch, and you don't book a flight the same. No, bitch, this flight was booked like a day or 2 before they even called me. And so I'm like, you couldn't have gave me a heads up when you were booking the flight? And I don't even want to hear the excuse of, oh, maybe they just weren't able to contact you. No, bitch.
The same way they called my phone at 5:50 in the morning is the same way they could have called my phone the day before to relay that information to me.
Disney is a corporation and they will do you the same way Walmart does you, Target, whatever, fucking Amazon. They will do you the same way these other corporations do you. Disney is no better than these other corporations. Fuck a 2-week notice. These bitches told me 3 hours before they fired me that they were firing me. They didn't even give me time to say goodbye to the rest of my castmates. They literally gave me 3 hours to just pack and leave. Again, I don't care that they fired me, because I didn't plan on working with Disney again, because Disney's fucking weird, like I said before, with all their fucking rules and shit. But like, bitch, the way they got rid of me was like, I had to think about like our training, our orientation, and everything that they would tell us about the way the company works and things they work into your training. Disney pretty much trains each and every last one of their crew members to be like a customer representative, a positive customer representative of the company, whether you're on the clock or off the clock. The way they literally drug the way I act on my own personal social media and was like, yeah, this doesn't fit the company values and this, that, and the third. Oh no, bitch, this is a cult. Like, on my personal time, on my personal social media, I know you're, no, I was like, yeah, all that was just going through my mind, all within that time frame of them being like, yeah, you have 3 hours to pack. So he's like,
Yeah, so I would prioritize going and getting your final paycheck from crew office, contact your stage manager, and then take your stuff to wardrobe, and then you can start packing.
so after he says that, the assistant cruise director is like, is crew office even open right now? So he calls crew office and they don't pick up. He's like,
Yeah, they're closed.
so bitch, they woke me up this early in the morning before crew office is open, before wardrobe is open, before security check-in is open. And here's the next thing that pissed me off. On the checklist, it even said debarking crew is expected to check their luggage in the day before disembarkation. If they were gonna fire me, they literally should have told me the day before, because I was supposed to check my luggage the day before. So I went down to security. They were like, oh yeah, you have to go to this floor and get your stuff checked in on this floor since it's such late notice and blah, 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 blah. So I had to lug my shit up and down. Girl, and another stupid rule, and I definitely broke this rule. As a crew member, you're not allowed to use the guest elevators. Bitch, I use the guest elevators. I said, fuck it. I'm not taking the stairs with 2 heavy things of luggage. Bitch, they woke me up early in the morning before everything even opened. So I had to rush and pack my stuff and then complete the checklist. I can't even say they didn't go out of their way because you work for the company. You're the captain of the ship. You're HR. You have to know what the disembarkation list consists of and what is required on the disembarkation list. You have to know that crew office isn't open at 5 fucking in the morning. You have to know that. But the sheer fact that you guys are like sitting in my face telling me you were such a good performer and we enjoyed having you and this, that, and the third, and smiling in my face and telling me all this bullshit, but then to like fire me in the most disrespectful way possible.
Be fucking for real.
I packed my shit, I completed that stupid checklist, went to the airport, flew back to the States. And that's the end of it. That's how I got fired from Disney Cruise Line. All of my Disney merch, I think I'm gonna burn it. I think I'm gonna burn all my Disney merch because, bitch, retelling this story just pissed me off. Again, I don't care that they terminated my contract and fired me and stuff like that. And the HR guy was like,
You can still technically work for the company. All you have to do is go to this website and submit an appeal to whoever the fuck, and you can re-audition and stuff like that. You can still work for the company.
bitch, I'm not returning to Disney Cruise Line. All those stupid ass rules, greeting. That's another thing I hated. As a performer, you're expected to greet. Greeting is basically following the little Disney characters around the ship. You are to help assist the characters with taking pictures with the guests, signing the autographs. If the guests come up to you and ask you directions and ask you about what's going on the ship's itinerary for the day, it's basically like a customer service job. I went to a dance audition because I wanted to dance, not be customer service. Anyways, so I say all that to say, before all that bullshit with the video happened, I knew I didn't want to return to Disney Cruise Line because I didn't like the way Disney operates. I hate the Disney music. I'm not a Disney person. Disney Channel growing up was cool, but working for Disney really just opened my eyes. And you hear horror stories of Disney all the time. Like, I was like, let me take that with a grain of salt. Maybe it was just their experience. No, this was my experience. And I did not like my experience working with Disney Cruise Line. And I will not be working with Disney ever again. Point blank period. I do not want to work for Disney again. Anyways, my food is probably cold as fuck. I got this AC blowing. I'm just sitting in the Cane's parking lot talking shit about Disney. Let me go back home. I've already been recording for an hour. I'm about to fill my storage right back up.
All right, guys, I'm back home. So that was my Disney experience, y'all. I will not be returning to Disney. That was not cute. It started off cool, like rehearsals and everything were cool because it's like I've been trying to become a dancer and like make dancing into a career ever since I graduated high school, honestly. Like, and I'm 24 now. So the performing aspect of the contract was really cool. Like being able to dance and do shows and stuff like that. I enjoyed traveling. I've never been to Australia before. I've never been to New Caledonia before. Like just being able to see new places and stuff like that, I will give them credit. Just the company as a whole, Disney is just not for me. I was never a big Disney fan, and working for the company, it's just not, no. And even though they said you can still technically work for the company, I don't want to work for the company. Disney, no. It's too many negatives to justify the positives that I got with working for the company. So with that being said, that is the end of this video. That is my Disney experience.
Getting fired. That was my experience getting fired. Just want to make that clear.
If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Please subscribe. I am actually begging you to subscribe. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, please share with your family, your friends. I need subscribers, pretty please. I'm actually begging you. Because I'm desperate. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.